pesto hours.
Big real pesto hours.
Oh,
maximum pesto. Yeah.
Maximum pesto. That's what I'm talking about. All right.
Ready for a countdown whenever you are.
Yeah. Do we have a car color?
Yep, it's purple.
Purple.
Yep.
Awesome. So I'm ready for a countdown. Are we counting down, or who's counting down?
How do you want to do it? Countdown from 5?
Sure.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good luck.
Woo! All right. So this is Slipstream. It's a pseudo 3D graphics racing game that came out in 2017, heavily inspired by arcade racing games of the late 80s, early 90s. I think Outrun is the one that comes to mind as being the biggest inspiration for this game.
Yeah, heavy Outrun inspiration.
Oh yeah. So we're just going to be drifting around here, going through each of the yeah, let me explain the category that I'm playing. So I'll be playing Cannonball, which is a setting that is sort of an amalgamation of all of the other game settings. And so throughout Cannonball, ooh, that's not good. Throughout Cannonball, we are going to be racing through all 20 tracks, doing 1 lap for each one. And on top of that, we are going to be racing 15 other cars are going to be racing us through each of those tracks. We'll see them here in a second. And then there's also high traffic density, so all of these other cars that are going like pretty slow are traffic cars. They just another thing to get in the way, make our life even more miserable. Yeah, and then we'll have rivals on every course as well, and those are the ones you see names popping up in text boxes up at the top of the screen. Keep an eye out. We'll see some familiar faces along the way. Some of the greatest racers to ever live make an appearance in this game.
Speaking of the random car placements, this game's kind of cool because there's a technique you can do on the different cars that are throughout the course called bump drafting. So if Newtman's going to try to go and get a slipstream.
I'll show that here in just a second. So your boosting mechanic in this game is slipstreaming, and you have to stay behind another car for a certain amount of time in order to get a boost going from them. And so we can use a sort of a bump drafting mechanic where we come up behind another car, bump into it, and then continue to use that slipstream to gain a little bit more speed every time. It does sort of work as a double-edged sword, however, because if you hit a vehicle that's going much slower than you are, then you're going to lose a lot of speed. You're actually going to lose more than you will make up from getting a slipstream off of them. But yeah, Cannonball is a very hectic category. Anything can happen at any time, so I'm going to try my best not to hit any other vehicles. Okay.
Since the vehicles are random spots, it requires a lot of adaptation just on the fly and knowing the courses really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Draft.
Memorization is the biggest factor in doing well at this category. You need to know every course. Have it all memorized. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna try to sneak through some of these other cars. I'm gonna bump draft this guy a little bit. Oop.
Also, talking about unexpected things today, we got the world's first sub-17 today. There's a new world record today.
Yes.
Yeah.
This morning at about 3 o'clock in the morning this time, the first sub-17 minute Cannonball was done by TDX.
Yeah.
TDX.
Yeah.
For the longest time, sub-17 seemed like super impossible. In fact, just as a general rule of thumb, you need to average at least 51 seconds per course in order to get a sub-17. But that, of course, doesn't take into account the different lengths that some of the courses have. But on average, if you're going 51 seconds or faster, you will get a sub 17. But that's super ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't crash. You can't like slow down at all during the races. So Monument Valley is a little bit of a shorter course. So I see it just got just under a 50-second on that one,
Nice.
which is a decent time. Typically, we'll be shooting for around 52 seconds or faster. Is ideal for most courses. Some are shorter than others. As a general rule of thumb, we're shooting for at least 52 seconds per course. Yeah.
These courses can be pretty tough, but it makes them look really
So
clean.
some of them can be pretty crazy. We've gotten pretty lucky so far on some of the courses. I'll point out a couple of the other ones that do get a little bit more crazy along the way. Yeah, so a new world record was just accomplished for this category. Huge shout out to TDX for that. It's awesome. I watched the run earlier today. It's ridiculous. You need to go watch it. All right, let's see if I can get a slipstream going off. Din over here.
So a cool thing about the development of this game is that it was made by one guy, and then just one guy did the music. So,
Yeah, exactly. One-man development team, Ansdor, he's the developer behind this game. Made it all himself, all of the coding, all of the artwork. Just a fantastic job. The dude is fantastic. I want to give a big shout out to Ansdor. And then on top of that, you have this awesome soundtrack made by FORK, spelled EFFOHARKAY. Go check out FORK on SoundCloud. You can find more music like this, very like synthwave inspired music. It's a good time. All right. So this course is one that I don't like very much. Parthenon is, in my opinion, one of the harder courses in the game, so we're gonna try not to hit anything too badly here. All right. What else did I want to mention? I feel like I'm missing something.
Enzor is also from Brazil, and we have the Speedruns Brazil stream.
Big shout outs to Speedruns Brazil for the Portuguese restream. Enzor is a Brazilian developer. A lot of love going out to you guys there. Good stuff. Yeah, this game, other than being heavily inspired by Outrun and other arcade racing games of the 80s and 90s, it just draws a lot of inspiration from many arcade games and other games of the SNES Genesis era. There is a large majority of the tracks in this game are named after levels in the original Genesis Sonic games.
Like there's Marble,
Marble Gardens,
yeah.
You've got Emerald Hills, Neon City, I think is one. In fact, probably most of them are,
Yeah.
to be honest. And we're going to see a course here in a little bit called Polygon Peaks that it's Sonic, 100%. Ice Cap, that's another one,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Ice Cap, yep.
Yep. All right, going into stage 10 here, we're almost halfway through the run already. There's a familiar face up there, Tofu Boy. You may recognize him from a certain drift racing anime.
You're getting some deja vu.
Series. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here. Yeah, shout outs to Initial D. All right. Try to get a slipstream off of Tofu Boy and keep going. Yeah, good stuff.
I hope on those billboards that you caught the parody Sega logo there, just kind of referencing Outrun again. Yep.
It's little references like that are scattered throughout this game as well. There are other places. This isn't Polygon Peaks, this is Virtual Plaza, which is the most vaporwave course in this game. It's a lot of fun. We'll see here in a second a bunch of marble pillars and marble statues and Macintosh computers right there. It's a very, very relaxing Very smooth, aesthetic course.
Aesthetic. In spaces and yep.
Spaces and capital letters. All of the above. All right. A little tricky turn coming up here. Wasn't quite prepared enough for it. I'm going to try to bump draft off of this truck. Get a little bit of speed going into this straightaway, and then I can try to pick up a lot of boost. And this is Polygon Peaks, actually, we were just talking about. So we're going to see some Chaos Emeralds and some Sonic Rings along the way here. If I don't try to turn too much on the inside. Oh, another thing that I want to point out about this. Oh, come on. Come on, Camilla. Get out of here. About this course is on some of the turns, some of the S turns, when the course is sort of weaving back and forth a lot, we can actually use these polygon trees on the side of the course as a little bit of a visual cue. And we'll see here in a second here if I can actually do this. Ooh. We've got pink trees here, and they'll turn to blue in the front row as the next turn starts. We can use that as sort of a little visual cue to make the turn on time, make it a little bit easier. And Camilla's going to keep coming with us. Oh. Sometimes that can happen. The CPUs will fail to despawn. Oh, that's no fun. All right. So instead, I'm going to bump draft off of this guy. So Camilla hasn't despawned yet and won't despawn until after we pass her a little bit, which means that the rival on this stage hasn't spawned yet, but after I pass her, she'll despawn, and the next rival will spawn back at the beginning of the course. We'll beat them right away. So there's Judas Avalon showing up, but we're never going to see her anyway.
Mentioned the turning a bit in this game. The turns can be really tough. That's really where I feel like you can separate like the really great runners of this game from just like an average runner like me.
Yeah, the turns can be tricky. Here's a familiar face. Can I see some Kappa Rosses in the chat?
There's no brakes, just happy little gas pedals.
Let's get a little crazy. Shoutouts to Bob Ross. The greatest racer.
Happy little accidents. And
gotta love it.
The achievement for him when you beat him is the joy of racing.
Yeah. So some of the rivals, I think there are 5 of them that have their own special achievements that you can unlock by beating them on a specific course. If you beat Bob Ross, aka Norman, on the Parthenon stage, you unlock the Joy of Racing achievement. Same with beating Tofu Boy on Akagiyama, you will get the Deja Vu achievement. I just love that little stuff. The shout-outs to other things.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try to get a long drift here. It's gonna be a straightaway, but you can actually keep drifting through that whole turn.
Yeah, nice job keeping your speed up. You're doing awesome with this.
Doing pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Big knock on wood there, though. I don't want to... Again, anything can happen. We're still 5 courses from the end. We'll see. So far, things have been going pretty well, which I'm happy about. All right, rolling into Resort Islands next. It's a pretty fun stage. It just looks nice, this course. It's a beautiful course. A lot of long, gradual turns, which is really nice.
If this doesn't give you Outrun vibes, I don't know what will.
Exactly, yeah. Shoutouts to Outrun.
Yeah, great game.
Fantastic game. So here we've got a lot of big S-curves. Ooh, that was close.
S-curves are like, they're always really hard to deal with.
Yeah, this one's the easiest one of like the entire game though. It's scaring myself a little bit.
Newt's great and can deal with them well, but I'm like an average runner. I get wrecked by like every S turn.
We'll see. All right, moving on to Morning City. Let's see if we can keep everything up a little bit. yeah, other than that, we are sort of flying through these races. Do we have any donations to read off real quick? Anything over there?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
All right. So send in your donations, guys and gals.
We have a lot of incentives coming up. We've got Final Fantasy 1 character names coming up later. We've got Metal Arms, Saber Kill, the bots.
I do want to say, put out all of your donations for Pesto as the file name for every single character in every single game.
It is.
We're going fast.
The besto.
Whoa, okay.
Aw.
A little unfortunate there. I actually got a little too crazy on the slipstreams, and my speed got up to over 300 kilometers per hour, and I just sort of lost control, but that's all right.
It's wild you can even get to that speed. That's really good.
It's, yeah, I've seen some crazy speeds before. Okay, a couple hard turns here. Oh, this is another track here that we'll be able to see another visual cue for an tricky S-curve. So these white pillars right there mark the beginning of the turn. And that's a turn that gets a lot of people when you start playing the game. So we lost that rival. Was that the first rival that we lost to?
I think so. That
Wow.
happens sometimes.
It does happen
Yeah.
from time to time. Ooh, that was close.
This
Ugh.
stage has a pretty like hard S turn that always gets me.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a tight turn. Chemical Plant is a little tricky, but ooh,
Another
traffic
Sonic.
right there is
Oh yeah.
a little ridiculous.
Chemical Plant, kind of another Sonic reference. Sonic
Oh,
2
yeah.
in there, yeah.
All right. We are coming up on the last stage already. I think it's going to be Mystic Cave, isn't it? We haven't played that one yet. Great, because
yeah.
Mystic Cave is
Yeah.
like my least favorite course in the whole thing. I love to finish on Mystic Cave. Oh boy, I can't wait for Mystic Cave.
It's
The
yeah.
thing that I hate about this course in general is that you don't have any space between the edge of the track and the walls, and so you can lose a lot of speed by just messing up your turns in the slightest. I'll be racing Tofu Boy again here though, so hopefully we can do something.
It's really
All
hard
right.
to know when to turn
Oh,
here
boy.
also. Yeah, that was unlucky.
That was
Yeah.
unlucky. In that case, Tofu Boy hit the back of my car, and that will cause you to spin out. And if you spin out while you are in the middle of a drift, you'll lose your drift. And if you're turning, doing that, it'll just throw you into the wall right away. Little
Yeah.
unfortunate.
There wasn't anything you could have done about that.
No.
Yeah.
Get ready on time here. Time, 17:19.
That's really good.
That's a recorded PB for me.
Nice.
Yeah. I've gotten a little bit faster than that before, but 17:19 is solid.
That's really
That's
good.
awesome. Yeah, so that was Slipstream Cannonball max settings. A really fun game. Definitely check it out. It's only $10 on Steam. You can find it on Steam sales all the time. Shoutouts to Ansdor, the developer for the game. Dude is awesome. Shoutouts to FORK. He's the one that made the fantastic soundtrack. And shoutouts to the rest of the Slipstream community, speedrunning community. You might have seen a couple of them at SGDQ. Cannonball was ran at SGDQ this year with Konasumi and Kelvin. That was a lot of fun. Cannonball is picking up a lot of momentum. A lot of people are playing it.
Yeah.
I recommend it. Check us out on Discord. You can find our link on the speedrun.com
Yep.
website. So yeah, that's Slipstream. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks very much. Coming up next, we have Just Shapes and Beats 80%, ran by Time Muffin. Stay tuned.